What's up guys, and check it out, I found the wicked cool toys at Jazwares company Spartan Collection Halo Reach Cat. Now real talk though, before we go on, should I just call them wicked cool toys or Jazwares? Because the whole wicked cool toys at Jazwares company is just way too long. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. Now I was going to review the red Spartan at first, but then I went to Target and found a fresh case with all of them, and I found Cat, and then I was just like, do I want to review a multiplayer Spartan or do I want to review a Halo Reach Noble Team Spartan? Clearly, you know the answer. Anywho, this was my second most anticipated figure behind Master Chief, so let's go and get this review started. Starting with the box one, we get a cool, I guess what you would call an ammo box design. You can see the pistol fell out of its holder down there, and also you see a little paint snafu already on her face, but we'll address that when we address that. Here's the sides, nothing too incredibly special about them except the fact that I nearly dropped it. And here's the back with a glam shot as well as the dialogue of her loadout, and actually, you know what, I just realized there's no usual dialogue saying like, Cat is a blah blah blah. They just skipped that. They're like, you know what, never mind, it's a figure, here you go. There's the other figures and the UPC. And there she is guys, out of the package, Cat. Now straight off the bat, she has a fantastic sculpt and I'm totally digging it, but I've already found some issues which look to be design flaws, but I'll get into that some more in the close-ups, which we will do now, starting with the head. Now, starting with the head, the sculpt looks fantastic and it looks pretty game accurate, especially the colors. Definitely love those. They did a great job on the head sculpt. Even the top looks great. Then you got this little piece right here which is sculpted and glued on, so it's nice and solid. And the visor looks pretty nicely sculpted as well, although it's a matte finish and not a shiny finish the same way Chief has a shiny finish. And if you look at the game pictures, it looks like it should be shiny just like the Chief's. And I'm going to take a gamble that's due to cost cuts because of all the extra paint apps that she has compared to Chief. She has the silver arm, she has those little white pieces over there, then she has these here, and then as you can see the Chief barely has anything. He just has the 117 and just some silver paint everywhere. Plus her accessories actually have quite a bit of detail and paint on it, so that is probably why they had to skimp on the visor and it's not shiny, so looks like that really comes at a cost. And moving into the body, the sculpt is nice as well. You see more of that paint application that stole from her visor, and then she has that detail there. And then you look up in there, the joint looks kind of weird too. We'll get to that joint more in a bit. And going around, she has a nice look there. You got the nice UNSC logo right there. And then on the back, this is a weird snafu. If you look there, there's a nice hole and it's really deep, and her weapon accessories don't have a peg to go in there, so I really don't know what the purpose of that is. So that's one design flaw that I found. The other design flaw that's pretty big and irritating, or maybe a quality control issue, is her waist joint, which is super loose. At first I moved it and I heard a snap and it just started flopping. I thought I had broken it, but the truth is I didn't break it, and that's a nice snap. As you can see here, it's just loose, and then you see the little section in there. So yeah, it's just a really loose joint. Oh, since this is off, we can see the waist swivel goes in a complete circle there. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty disappointing. And then the other issue that I have, which is probably quality control, is she has a butterfly joint here which works just fine, but this butterfly joint, I don't know if it's supposed to be a butterfly joint because it looks different, as you can see, but it does not move. It is stuck, and I've tried to push hard and it doesn't budge, and I don't want to snap it, just like, you know, or well, I don't want to loosen the joint the way I did the waist, so I don't know, that's kind of a bummer. But aside from that, the arm looks great. The joint's a little bit loose, but it still holds. The sculpting is actually really nice overall. Loving the details there. Of course, you got those big black pegs, but it's, I guess you can look past it. Then you got the silver arm here, which got some nice details. I love how they detailed and sculpted this arm here. They actually did a really great job. This sticks out. Definitely game accurate, which I like, so I guess it kind of makes up for these loose, no, not really. And moving on down, we get some nice details as well. Continuing on, I like this little piece right here. It's really nicely sculpted. She had a kind of a big bum though, but oh well. Moving around, she has more sculpting there that looks great. Nice boots there, very bulky, and just, I love the paint too. It really looks nice. They did a great job on the sculpting of this figure, even though those little design flaws of those loose joints and such, that weird peg in the bottom of the back, so yeah. And the cool thing too is this comes out just like Master Chief's. You pop that out and flip it around, and now you have a peg for her weapon. But that peg actually brings me to the next design flaw, because when you take the Magnum right here, getting a sneak peek at it before the accessories portion, and you plug it in, the Magnum, the hole for the Magnum isn't actually that deep, and as you can see, it really sticks out a lot. I mean, It's just that's as deep as it'll go. So that's another design flaw that's like, I feel like they might have rushed it on Cat here. Although the sculpt does look good. I don't know. Okay, now some of you may have been hearing some beeping in the background and you're wondering what that is. Well, I will show you right now. That would be my bird. Apparently he just wants to be in the video, so there he is in the video. Don't eat the carpet. No, you want to be in the video. Here's the video. No, don't eat Cat. Ah! Okay, we're all good, folks. She still has her finger. He didn't bite it off. Man, she just can't catch a break. She gets sniped and then she gets attacked by a bird. Jeez. But anywho, as for her articulation, her head rotates in the usual circle as every other figure. Has some pretty good up and pretty decent down, but not very much side to side. Her arm rotates in the usual circle and has a butterfly joint, which is nice and noisy, but it has some decent range to it. And the shoulder goes way up, thankfully, because her shoulder armor piece is way up high. And then she has the usual bicep swivel as well. And then she has a double jointed elbow, which she can poke her face with. But on the other side of her arm, she has a single jointed elbow, which has interesting range. It's just kind of a peg there. And then the bicep swivel is actually more of a upper elbow swivel, so that's kind of interesting. The hand spins in a circle and does a flap E-do. And the waist, as you saw, is super loose. You get that much sideways, and then it goes way far back. It just flops back, and then you have to force it forward, and then it just falls right back again. And doesn't even turn that much, really. Although the waist swivel gives it a nice full 360 circle there, as you can see. And as for her leg, it's squeaky just like the Chief's, but it did the same thing where it was smooth at first and then became squeakier afterwards. And I'm going to do it in real time on this leg because I actually haven't rotated this leg yet. So listen to how smooth it is and watch it get squeaky over time. Oh, look at that. Now it's really squeaky. You see it? Look at that. I don't know what these joints are made of or why they do that, but yeah, it starts off smooth and then, oh, look at that. It just gets so hard. I don't understand it. But anywho, as for articulation, it goes that far forward. Oh, it didn't squeak and not back at all. There's a squeak. She has pretty decent and quiet splits. Limited thigh swivel because her armor hits her waist piece, but it's still there. A very high angle, double jointed knee. Look at that. And the foot goes that far forward, that far back quite a bit. Spins as usual and has a toe that goes up and way down. And for accessories, she comes with a magnum here that's pretty tiny actually. It's got some nice paint, and there's that shallow peg I showed you that barely goes in where it sticks out. Kind of soft too. And here it is next to the Mattel Magnum, which is just so much bigger and looks so much better. Definitely need to be using this more. And like the Magnum that she comes with, this one actually plugs all the way in. It fits just like Master Chief, and it just looks so much better. So yeah, the size is better and it actually pegs in. So definitely a plus if you have this. And then she comes with a Spartan laser, and this thing looks fantastic. Look at that. It's got some nice paint apps. Got the silver there, the matte colored plastic there, then some green up there. It even has the UNSC logo right up there. So this definitely ate up some of the money that would have went into her visor. So I don't know. This looks cool, but I think I still rather would have had the shiny visor. And it has some stiffness, but it's still bendy. She comes with 4 additional hands. She comes with a pair of grabby open hands and 1 fist and the Disney pointing finger. And to replace a hand, it's just as easy peasy as the Chiefs. You simply just pluck that one off, and then you take the new one and then you pluck it on reverse, flip back in there, and then there you go. It's in. Now a quick note to be very careful of is that her robotic arm has a very thin peg compared to her regular arm. You can see the comparison right there. See how much thinner it is? So definitely be careful you don't snap this during removal. And finally, her last accessory is her head, which looks kind of decently sculpted. They got the hair right, but her face looks kind of creepy. She's got a little cowlick or something going on there. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's a video game face. I mean, the graphics weren't that great back then, so I guess it works. And you simply pop the old head off pretty easy, as you can see. Just a little peg right there, same as the Chiefs, except on a smaller scale. And then you got that peg down there. You just plug that in like so, a little pop-up, and then there you go. She is Cathead, and that's what she looks like with her helmet off. And it's not bad, not my preferred look, but hey, it's game accurate. And then she can, I guess, walk. Ugh, this joint's so bad. And finally, she also comes with an in-game code, which is probably just a cosmetic. Won't show you the code this time because I'm not going to redeem them anymore until the game comes out, just in case. And here she is holding this Spartan laser, which actually looks pretty decent on her size-wise. The Spartan laser's pretty nice. And there's her pistol, that's just sticking out way too much. But the Spartan laser on the Chief looks, as expected, a tad bit small, so yeah, they definitely need to readjust the size scale for these weapons. And height-wise, she stands just a bit tad short of 7 inches, which means yes, she is shorter than the Master Chief, who stands at 7¼ inches. But she's still much taller than the muy small Mattel 6-inch Halo 5 figures. And she's very much not in scale with her McFarlane Noble team. But dude, imagine a properly scaled George in this figure line. Oh my god, he'd be so huge. And here she is next to some Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends, as well as a well-known wrestler. Now I know one of you asked if these figures were to scale towards the Legends and Black Series, and I would have to say yes, because these Spartans are naturally substantially bigger than their human counterparts in real life, or in the video game life. And Chief himself is over 7 feet, I believe. That's without the armor. With the armor, I mean, he's just super tall, which totally is in scale with what you see here. So yes, these guys can accurately scale join your figure collection. Did that make sense? But they are definitely not to scale with McFarlane's, because McFarlane does his own thing. But they do look good together. Well guys, overall I'm kind of tossed on this figure. Although I do love the sculpting, I think it's fantastic. The execution with the joints, not so much. The stuck right butterfly joint is kind of a bummer, and the squeaky legs are a nuisance, but they can be looked past. But that loose torso pivot, nah, that's unacceptable. Hopefully this is just an isolated incident with my figure and not like an overall quality control issue, but I am getting the other one, so we'll find out as I get more of these. Hopefully it's not, and if it is, hopefully they fix it as they move forward. But anywho dudes, my merch seems about ready to go, so I think I will do my reveal video of my merch next, and then the red Spartan review, and maybe I'll find the white Spartan between now and then I'll have the whole first wave. But until then, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.